The Motor City experienced a flood of emotions with 2 minutes to go and a must-win matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Detroit's game-winning touchdown with time expiring was called back, and the Lions fall in Week 16, 29-24. Welcome to the Detroit Lions Live postgame show presented by Curado Insurance. Alongside the Super Bowl champ Lomas Brown, I'm Dannie Rogers. Detroit's playoff chances and their hopes are almost non-existent. Packers only need to win one of their two final games against either the Ravens or the Vikings, and that will knock Detroit out. We learned that two things, can be true tonight. That Amon-Ra St. Brown can complete a game-winning touchdown pass back to Jared Goff, who ran it in for a touchdown. And we also learned Amon-Ra St. Brown committed an OPI on this play, too. Here it is, Lomas. It is the play Lions fans will talk about for a long time.
Yeah, Danny, the one thing I want to jump up on my soapbox right now, the one thing as a player, you want to be able to control what happens on the field. And I know these guys have to feel robbed today that it was taken out of their hands. It was just simply taken out of their hands. Now, I'm not siding on the side of wrong or right, but as a player, you want to be able to control what happens in the game, the results of that game. And I just feel too many times a day it wasn't in the players' hands. It was taken out of their hands. Like I say, Danny, be it wrong or right, it shouldn't come down to that. I'm not going to criticize any officials or anything like that. But again, as a player, you feel robbed when you don't get the opportunity to control what happens. I feel so bad for these Detroit Lion players today because you work so hard in your craft. You're such a professional. This is a professional league, and you do everything you can each and every week to come out and try to get a victory. And when it's taken from you by somebody, it just doesn't feel good. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll just leave it at that.
Regardless of that final play, it is very hard to win a ball game when you only rush for 15 yards. That's what we saw from the ground attack from Detroit's David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs, 40 rushing yards over the last 2 weeks. That is the bread and butter of Detroit's offense, and it has been non-existent over almost the last month.
No, you're right, and it has really hurt our offense. I talked about coming into this game how we just looked so uneven offensively, and it played out throughout this game. And like you say, we always kind of ring our bell with our run game. That's what we set our standards with. That's what kind of gets our offense going. And when we can't run the ball and we're inadequate at running the ball the way we were today, it just makes us one-dimensional, Danny, and we're just not the explosive offense that spreads the ball around. So, yes, it's hurt us the last couple of games, and we're going to have to find a way to create runs and get these guys going back if we want to have some success on offense.
Defensively, on the flip side of that, the run defense did not show up today, allowing 230 yards to the fifth worst run offense in the league, Lomas.
But Danny, when you play so much on the defensive side of the ball, I kind of felt sorry for the defenders. They were out there so much because we couldn't get anything generated offensively. So now you put a lot of pressure on your defense to have to make stops and continue to make stops. And eventually a good offense, they don't even have to be a good offense. Offensives, they will find ways to find cracks in your defense. And you've seen it. Like you say, our run game, which is normally stout, I mean, those guys tried and tried and tried, but eventually the dam broke, and that's what happened against us against the Pittsburgh Steelers today.
In the second quarter, we saw a really positive flash of light in wide receiver Isaac Tesla. Came up with a gritty, acrobatic catch in the end zone to put Detroit up 10-3. He ends the day with 52 yards, leads Detroit's receivers, longest catch of the day for 20, and that touchdown they will talk about a lot. Tesla refuses to take his name out of the conversation here in Detroit.
And I wish it was a way we can incorporate this young man more into the offense because he is such a weapon. And if you get the ball anywhere around him, he's a guy that can come up with those big catches for you. That was a huge touchdown catch that he came up with, a huge contested touchdown pass that he came up with. Almost came up with a second one for us. But again, we have to find a way to incorporate him more into this offense because I just think he's such a dynamic weapon for us that we're underutilizing.
Wide receiver Khalif Raymond came out of nowhere there in the fourth quarter, came up with a big touchdown catch to put Detroit within a score. When they needed some big plays, Raymond has stepped up, 62 receiving yards on the day.
You're so right, Danny. He has. And again, another guy I would love to see get more targets, more catches too, because if you could get him in the open space, man, he makes things happen for us. He came up with some big catches for us, like you were saying. I mean, Khalif, I think, is a weapon that, again, like Isaac Tesla, someone that we have to try to utilize, have to try to incorporate into this offense more because you see they're sitting on our stars. They know about Amon-Ra. They know about Jameer. You know, they know about J-Mo. But I think these other guys can be assets for us, too, on the offensive side of the ball.
That touchdown to Khalif Raymond was Dan Campbell's 100th all-time fourth down call.
Wow.
Good for a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs continues to break records here in Detroit despite the ground game not getting going. Today he surpassed the legend Barry Sanders for the most touchdowns in a player's first 3 seasons. I talked with Gibbs earlier this week. He told me this is the only record so far that actually carries weight for him. So it means a lot that he was able to go out there and get that touchdown tonight.
I know he wished it would have been in a victory to get this record, but he should cherish this record because, like you say, he surpassed one of the all-time, I say the all-time greatest running back to play this game. He's put his name in elite company when you talk about Barry Sanders. So, you know, he should be proud of what he has accomplished in his first 3 years in the league. And Danny, it's a lot more to go. So that's the thing that we have to look forward to is that he's just getting started.
There were 7 different receivers here in this game that caught a football from Jared Goff. 6 of them had 40 or more receiving yards. It was wide receiver by committee tonight. Lomas, we saw that almost work down the stretch with Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown getting going. What stifled the pass game for the most part?
Yeah, so some untimely plays that happened to us. A couple of penalties that were untimely at that point. But to be honest with you, I'll be straight up, Jared just didn't look comfortable back there either. I mean, he got it going towards the second part of the game, but the first half, he just didn't look comfortable, whether it was Pittsburgh with their pass rush that got him off his spot. But I don't know, it just didn't seem like the same Jared Goff. And again, I can contribute a lot of that to us not being able to run the ball. We run the ball, you keep the defense on their heels. Then I think you are able to do a lot more things. I was glad to see the tight ends get incorporated into the offense more tonight. But again, Jared just didn't look as smooth, as even as he has been looking all season long.
A part of that has to be that Detroit ran 3 different centers in this game.
Great point.
Goff was sacked 3
Great
times,
point.
and Pittsburgh rallied off 9 quarterback hits throughout this one. So an uncomfortable day for Goff. We'll talk more about that coming up next in our Detroit Lions Live post-game show presented by Curado Insurance.
Guys, your prior success has put you at the top of the power rankings list. That's a good thing, right?
Well, just means you've gone from the underdog to the favorite.
But those expectations come from prior success, so that's okay.
What about Cure? Where do you guys rank on the power list?
Actually, we just got named by Forbes as one of the best car insurance companies in America.
Now you're the favorite.
Guess we have a lot in common.
Go Cure.
Go Lions.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Detroit Lions Live is brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Log on to cure.com to see how you can save. Lomas, we heard a lot from defensive coordinator Kelvin Shepard this week that he was putting a lot of the fault on his back in terms of this Detroit defense not able to nail down opponents and take away what they do best. Aaron Rodgers had a pretty good day. That run game, though, 230 for the 5th worst rushing attack in the league speaks volumes as to where this defense is in Detroit right now.
And what kind of disturbed me a little bit in the run game, Danny, too, is that if you think about both of those 45-yard runs from their running back, I mean, there was nobody out there. I mean, it was really nobody out there. Nice scheme that Pittsburgh ran, but there was no contain out there. And to me, either that's miscommunication, guys not knowing where they needed to be at, because I don't think they just out-physicaled us, especially on the edges. So that's what was a little disturbing, especially, like I say, on those two 45-yard touchdown runs that Pittsburgh got today. But Calvin Shepard's right. When your team gets beat in the run game, that normally means the other team was more physical than you, and you never want to hear those words as a defensive coordinator that your team got out-physical. But that happened today to us.
Head coach Dan Campbell is standing by at the podium. We've got a few answers from him on his team's Week 16 loss.
Level, if you're disappointed, it looked like the Steelers pushed you guys around a bit. They ran the ball better, stopped the run, physical. Is that what stings you?
I can't argue with that. I mean, the ground game says it. I mean, they're rushing. Now, they rushed it. They had a lot more carries. And some of that was, our defense was on the field for a while. And, when you're able to convert, stay on the field a while, then you can kind of bounce from run to run to run to, play pass to. It just opens your offense up, and that's what they're able to do. And, they can, you run a play, you get the look. You run a play, you get the look. You run the opposite of that and see how they respond, and then you get a look. And we weren't able to do it, and they were. And yeah, I mean, I can't. They got after us. I mean, they rushed for over 200 yards, and only 15 for us.
Did you see it? And
I didn't see it. I couldn't even see it. Man, I was looking at the protection and Goff, and then I saw the catch, and that was.
How about the heads-up, decision to pitch the ball to Goff, I mean, regardless of what.
Yeah, it was a headsy play, man, and he went down, and just to stay alive for the last play, man. I mean, that's what Saint is. He's a freaking smart, instinctive player. One more shot. We thought.
Call a few plays earlier where Tesla was called for OPI on the same Brown touchdown.
They said that it was OPI. He ran into the defensive back or whoever it was, there's nothing you can do. They see what they see. And I didn't see that one either, so I have no idea.
Dissecting this game, do you regret not kicking a field goal early in the game?
No.
How much, of the substitutions that you have to make, so many on the offensive line, in the defensive backfield, there seemed to be some confusion on some plays where the safeties were supposed to go and all that. Does that just take a toll when you're constantly rejiggering your lineup every week and having to teach guys kind of on the floor?
Well, I don't. You know what?
Guys, your prior success has put you at the top of the power rankings list. That's a good thing, right?
Well, just means you've gone from the underdog to the favorite.
But those expectations come from prior success, so that's okay.
What about Cure? Where do you guys rank on the power list?
Actually, we just got named by Forbes as one of the best car insurance companies in America.
Now you're the favorite.
Guess we have a lot in common.
Go Cure.
Go Lions.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Detroit Lions Live is brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Log on to Cure.com to see how you can save. Coming up next for the Detroit Lions, a Thursday kickoff, Minneapolis at the Vikings place, 4:30 on Christmas Day. Don't you want some presents under your tree with that one?
I do.
That'd be a good present.
I would love
no
to get
bow
a
or
nice
tag,
present.
but
yeah,
it's wrapped.
I need one too, BF.
Maybe just a gift bag,
Yeah.
actually, for you. The present won't be wrapped, but there's a gift bag that could
I'll
be in your
take
future.
it. I will take it. I will take it. Yes, as you say, we travel to Minneapolis to take on those Minnesota Vikings, a team that kind of helped put us in the situation that we're in right now. So I think we owe them. That would be such a nice present.
That'd be a great little redemption there. Quarterback J.J. McCarthy left the game earlier today with a hand injury, so he'll more than likely be questionable heading into this one. Lions have alternated losses for about, well, the last 10 weeks. They haven't lost back-to-back games in almost 3 years. That streak ends here tonight with a gut-wrenching fourth quarter game-winning touchdown on the line that was called back by an OPI. How do you just wake up tomorrow, Lomas, and how do these guys, these Detroit Lions, just find something to play for moving forward?
Danny, I'm not going to lie. It's going to be hard. It really is. It's going to be hard because you still have something to play for. There's still an outside chance that we could get in there.
6% chance, Lomas.
But so you hang your hat on that 6% chance. You go back to the drawing board and you just clean up what you didn't do well tonight. You know, you try to clean up those penalties. You try to clean up some of the things that prevented you, especially on the offensive side of the ball, of being as proficient as we've been throughout this year. It's just strange how we've hung our hat on being a great run team that set everything else off of that. And these last couple of weeks haven't been good for us in the run. And the other thing, Danny, is third quarter. That's been terrible for us coming out of halftime. So it's something that Dan Campbell, the coaching staff, the players, they're going to have to make an adjustment and figure out a way to come out in the third quarter and put up points, you know, stop teams and do what they have to do to make sure that we have success on that game day.
Last two third quarters for Detroit have been scoreless. Today, only able to run 3 plays, and one ended in a sack safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, for Lomas Brown, I'm Dannie Rogers. Thanks so much for tuning in to our Detroit Lions Live postgame show presented by Curado Insurance. Detroit falls to Pittsburgh here in Week 16, the final 29-24. Got to play for the love of the game probably here moving forward, Lomas. We'll see you next week in Minneapolis for a Christmas Day showdown.